Okay, so I'm back, and apparently OBS just shut down randomly, so that was weird. So I had to restart. Sorry about that. Anywho, as I was saying before, my internet just randomly went out because I live out in, you know, whatever, crazy land, really, really dark. I'm going to catch up on some of the comments here now, but I'm just very careful. I'm just very careful because I know the general American public is not critically thinking, and they aren't actively checking their sources. And I understand that I understand who like my core audience is, but I don't expect that to be my only audience. So I'm very careful about how I deliver content in that way. And that's what I was trying to get across last night, that, you know, you can still discuss the topics in a more controlled kind of manner without it being, you know, without emboldening or reinforcing oppressive and harmful ideas. That's what I was just doing. And the larger your platform grows, the more you have to evolve and kind of understand you have a greater responsibility with your words and how you deliver content. And you have to evolve and change too. I've evolved and changed as I've grown. I've learned how to do more things. I've learned about what it is that I need to do in order to get, you know, education out there and help people understand. So I evolve and change too as, you know, my platform grows. So that's absolutely okay, and that's fine. So we got to kind of keep that in mind. All right. So Nell C said, moderation isn't a thing that scales. I think you can't handle the big sites the same way you can the small. It's like the small business scaling to a large one. Yes. And so that's why you kind of have to evolve and change over time and kind of see, you know, but also you kind of have to sort out, you know, what direction do you want your show to go? And at the same time, the larger you get, the more responsibility that you're going to be held to for your content and your words. I mean, that's just how it works. You become an influencer, which is a good thing. So, you know, you got to think about that. Yeah, properly scale up. Yeah, okay. So I'm catching up. Too much show just for the sake of show seems to be the issue. Possibly. That could possibly be it. I'm not certain. And I don't engage with absolutely awful people. I'll engage the idea to debunk it, but I have self-respect enough for me and my subscribers to have those people on. Well, and see, that's another way you can go about it. You can go and not actually engage these awful people. I would never want to talk to an incel. Just because my history, and I think that's absolutely reasonable and acceptable. I'm not saying other people shouldn't. I'm also saying be cautious that you don't embolden people on the fence that are like, okay, well, incels aren't so bad, you know? So you kind of got to be careful about that. Let me see if I'm back on YouTube. Oh, my goodness. This was a mess this morning. It's been raining so hard. Hello, hello. Okay, the chat's finally catching up. Goodness. Because it seemed like everything was nuts. I have been feeding, I haven't been feeding the rooms. Yay, I'm back. Okay, so, all right, the sticks. Yes, I live out in the country, you know, just a country girl. Captain Marvel mug, by the way, FYI, seeing that tomorrow. Hi, Heat Shield. Oh, the flu. Don't get the flu. Okay, so what I'm doing with this channel, my show on Thursdays, This Week in BS, I bust apart bad science, like this past Thursday. Oh, I'm an incel. They call themselves involuntary celibate. You should Google some of that and go down that rabbit hole. There are people that think sex should be equally distributed amongst people who are virgins and can't seem to get get any sex from ladies. So they feel like they should be able just to have it, even if the ladies are not wanting to have sex with them. So it's very problematic, and they endorse harming women. So it's actually pretty disturbing, the things that they talk about ways to rape a woman and make her afraid and things like that. So if I went about talking about incels, I would talk about the different things that they do. I would educate in that regard, and I would sit there and say, okay, this is what science has to say about them, and then I would bring that up. And if I wanted to, maybe I could talk to them and say, why do you think this way? Why is this going on? I could sit there and spend some time, dig around in the forums. I'm doing that with anti-vaxxer Facebook thing that I'm going through and reading, just to learn about how it is that they think. But I'm not going to have one of them on my show, because I don't want them to think that I've given them any kind of validation by giving them my time. But that's the way I go about it. And as I grow my platform, that will continue to be the way that I can kind of set the tone on what's acceptable and not acceptable, and that I'm not going to contribute to problematic ideals. So I don't want my content to be misused or misrepresented in any kind of way. But that's me. And I feel like there's multiple ways to tear down topics and question ideas without necessarily giving them a platform. But that's me. And that's what I was trying to get across last night. So, this week in BS. So every Thursday, like next Thursday, I'm going to talk about people who are using bleach water to try to cure autism. They're giving it to their children. So I will be talking about that, but I'm not going to have a woman on there that's talking about giving bleach water to her kids. I'm not going to do that because, number one, she comes on my show, I don't necessarily want them to be abused either. So, like I said, I mentioned before, I don't do a lot of these chats where I have somebody who does not understand cancer whatsoever is going to tell me what causes it, and I've done research. After a while, I feel like I'm punching a toddler in the face. I don't enjoy that. That's not something that I enjoy at all. I don't like it, so I don't do it. So I wouldn't have a woman on here who was giving her perspective of using bleach water. It's a solution. It's about 28% bleach and the rest is like water. Sometimes they put it in juice and they give it to their kids because they think it cures autism, cancer, and AIDS. I don't want at the same time anybody to be abused either. So I wouldn't want that. So, but that's the tone that I set. So that's me. There's no debate on whether or not you should give your kids bleach water. You just shouldn't. So what I'll do is talk about it, and I'll say these are what these people are doing, and it's likely from this particular thing because you can find it here, and you can discuss it. You can say they're probably afraid. There's this stigma associated with autism. But I'm also not putting somebody on the spot. So it's not just about giving them a platform, but also I don't want anybody to be abused on my show either, or in the side chat or in the comments. So I don't do that either. Hey everyone. Hey everyone. So even when I take snippets from the anti-vaxxer Facebook post, I still block out their faces and names because I don't want anybody to receive abuse for that or be doxxed in that way. So, because that's never okay. Incel or not, I don't want anybody to be abused. And so I know that can kind of happen. And it does happen, especially when you put yourself up there. So it's just kind of one of those things. But that's me. Like I said, that's me. And there are multiple ways to tear down ideas. I just try to get across. And it comes from a place of caring where I say, I want you to be successful. But please, be cautious. Because somebody can misrepresent your ideas. It becomes scary. All right. Yeah, some people should not be parents. Yeah, debate is useful in complex topics, but I don't understand why we're debating flat earthers. I mean, you can present an idea, and I talk about this in some of the articles that I write. You can present the idea and say this particular idea is problematic. Here's why, but it doesn't take very long. It doesn't take long. There's not a heavy discussion. If you're trying to figure out why a person thinks a certain way, yeah, that can take a while. So I get that, but getting that from them, that's really kind of difficult. And that's where you have the measured control. And you're like, okay, I'm going to take this. You can have a chat, but then, after you talk to them, put together a video and put it out. Here's the conversation I had this person, rather than just necessarily having it on a live stream. You can have something a bit more measured and control. So I think that, that's a good way to do it. Bleach kills you, don't drink it. I know. If it kills them, they won't get autism, cancer, AIDS. You're right. I think I put in my little promo, bleach cures life. So I don't debate. There's just some things I'm like, I'm not going to argue with somebody. It's like saying the sky is actually purple. It's purple and there are invisible giants. I have, the prove it isn't true argument and the fallacy associated with that. Prove that there aren't invisible giants there in the universe that use the earth as a magic 8-ball. Prove it. I'm like, man, I'm not even going to do that. I was like, why? Hey, Nana. Yeah, abuse is never okay. How did bleach water ever become a thing? It's called MMS, Miracle Mineral Solution. I think it started out in the UK, and it's kind of spread to where they use bleach water, where they think, I can't remember if it's Scotland or Ireland, where it's kind of started there, and it's reached across over the pond in the US, where they think a certain percentage of bleach in water. Now I forget all of the components of it, but when you mix it together, you end up getting a 28% bleach solution. They're not actually getting Clorox and pouring it in there, but the chemical reactions that are involved cause it to become bleach. And now there may very well be some people that are mixing a little bleach in with juice because they think it's effective. So less fire and more fact. Yeah, that's kind of how I feel. Abuse is only acceptable unless you like that sort of thing and a partner consents. Then it's not abuse. That's consensual, sexy, fun times for some of those people. Yeah. Keep on correcting me, Mrs. Snarky. I take it. Oh my goodness. You guys are funny. Bleach, it's a bloody miracle. I mean, yeah, that's kind of and I understand, sitting here. It's like the time that I called Kent Hovind. I didn't debate him. I let him speak the whole time, and I'm like, okay, and then I hung up, and I'm like, all right, because I'd never talked to the man before, and I'd only seen a couple of things. I'm like, wow, this is kind of weird. So I did a fact-finding call just so I could learn about it, and I go, okay, this is what he thinks. All right, here's everything that's wrong with this. And then you go into it. With a person like Kent Hovind, I don't expect him to debate me. These certain individuals that subscribe to conspiracy type of thinking, they're not really, you're not really going to get through to them because it's kind of like a mental illness type of thing. You know what I mean? They're not going to believe evidence. And you can sit there and talk to them all day, but it's not going to happen very quickly in a couple of shows. I mean, it just... And the abuse that some of these people get, I mean, I would think they're less likely to hop on there. So if they're not for the abuse, are they there for the platform? And they probably are. They're probably there. Jillian, she would not go on a show unless she thought that she could get people over to her side and give her money. I mean, but that's kind of what they do. So I sit and I don't, when I'm in a debate, I don't really debate. I sit there and I listen to the other side, and then it's then after that I go, okay. And after they're finished, I take in what they say, and then I ask questions, and then I get more information, and then I go, okay, well, here is what I heard, and here's the problems that I have with this, and here's why. So I don't I don't really debate, like, is the earth flat, or, no. I don't do that. It's an utter waste of my time. I am much better at describing and talking about topics, and even if they're hard topics and controversial topics, you can discuss it without giving it a platform, in my opinion. And that's what I do. But it's not the only way to do things. Oh, goodness. Never attempt to teach a pig to sing. It wastes your time and annoys the pig. Collect information, examine, research, test, present conclusions. Now, yeah, it's extremely possible Hovind has narcissistic personality disorder. Yeah. And see, he had absolutely no problem with answering all my questions because it's giving him attention. And that's a lot of what people do. They're just looking for that type of attention. Oh, Philippines. No, it says, okay, so here, my shirt says, happiness can be found in the darkest of times if only one can remember to turn on the light. Dumbledore. It's not Philippines. Oh my goodness. Yes, some people just need to be beaten with a stupid stick. No, some people probably have already been beaten with the stupid stick a lot. Maybe the shield of righteousness implied by Paul in the Bible means putting on the shield of arrogance. Maybe, I don't know. That's why low ABV beer used to be given to children. Fortunately, we've learned to keep our water supply clean. Oh my goodness. Well, that's the thing. Sometimes you don't know where the light switch is. So sometimes maybe start looking for the light switch. If you're in the darkness, go around looking for the light switch. Man, I don't know. Gosh, man, wouldn't it be great if we could just download knowledge into people's brains and say, come here, where's your USB port? But then that would be a form of oppressive technology. You know what I mean? That could potentially be problematic and be used to hurt people as well, reprogramming people's brains. There was an episode of The Orville like that. You guys watch that? Completely reprogram a person's mind and just zap. And then, check out that episode. I'm digging The Orville. Okay, so now that we moved on from that, next Saturday I will be posting a new poll for next Saturday's show. And I am due on the Geek Room here in just a bit. I'm on the Geek Room's 24-hour stream today. And that's happening here in probably about 10 minutes. So I should probably go do that, huh? I should probably do that. Mind control. I am now a scientist. Wah, ah, 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 ah. You know what I mean? Oh, download all of the episodes of Three's Company into their brains. Oh, good Lord. Come and knock on our door. We've been waiting for you. Right? That's exactly what that is, man. Ah. Okay. Where is... I gotta get back on Twitter because I gotta figure out how am I doing this thing. Where am I gonna be right now? Need the link for the show to join the show. So I should probably... I'm supposed to talk about cannabis again, so... I should probably go and get that stuff together really quickly. But I have done a show on cannabis, so that's pretty cool. That'd be cool. Oh, your daughter bought you that shirt. Hey, Doc Fearsome. I want to say hello to GI and Doc Fearsome and Nana and Jen and everybody who are, and Steve, my Patreon supporters. You guys are awesome. Thank you. Okay, so I'm catching up. Okay. Do I have a link for the Geek Room show? Not yet, but once I get one, then I will tweet it out. So, oh no, still too stressed. I'm sorry, GI. Coffee and tea. That's right. Yeah, the deletion of memories. Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. That'd be kind of cool to be able to get rid of just certain ones. They found out that you can do that. Alright, you have never seen Firefly. I have. I really liked it. Having the superpower to make people forget what pooping is would be quite fun. Oh my goodness, that's funny. You guys are hilarious. All right, well, I'm going to go and get prepped for the Geek Show, the Geek Room's 24-hour live stream. No worries. All right, so let me go ahead and hop off there and go and check out the Geek Room. I'll be on there as well. Yay, thank you for the link. Thank you for the link, GI. So I'll be on there in just a bit. I'm going to get me some more coffee probably, because I'm probably going to need it. And, you know, I'm going to talk about cannabis and that sort of thing. I guess that's what I'm doing. So let me get my sources together, and I will see you guys on the Geek Room live in 8 minutes. Wow, I got 8 minutes to get all my things together. Woohoo! Yay! I'll just pull up, you know, see what's